Dear class of 2020, who'd have thought that the world as we know it would change so much in such a short time? How expectant we were with what a new decade could bring. No one could have begun to think that this is where we would be. In our homes, eating out the pantry, having endless Zoom calls, and actually watching too much Netflix. But alas, here we are. Here we are literally fighting for normalcy, hope, peace, and equality. Here we are struggling to imagine what our future would look like, trying to ideate what could be next. But this is the time, your time. You've made it through years of navigating group assignments, negotiating with teachers, meeting deadlines, and now figuring out which mask looks good on you. You're equipped to lead your community to new levels of innovation, equality, and camaraderie. This pandemic has given us a blank slate, so let's paint it with our own colors, with that innate creativity, and those awesome dance moves that you've come to discover during your time alone. Let's be the wind of change. Congratulations, class of 2020. It's gonna be a great ride. Episode number 13, Dear Class of 2020. Here's what you need after graduation. Let's go! No more Zoom class, oh! No more online class, oh! No more Zoom class, hey! Alright, Hey everyone, it's Sanjay, Saint Sanj, whichever one you want to call me today, but I'm here to big up the class of 2020. This is your time to shine, and this episode is really dedicated to you, to motivate you, to lift you up and big you up on the huge accomplishment that you've made, especially during these times. And I especially made this episode because I thought of myself when I was graduating, and I also needed a pick me up or pick you up, whichever one. What is it? I also needed something to help lift me up. I remember when I was graduating after completing my bachelor's, that is. It was a hot day because in Jamaica we wear gowns and suits in like 31 degrees Celsius. That's really nice. But yeah, we also had this big tent. The tent had air conditioning. But you know, when you go outside to take photos, it's really hot. That's what I mean. So at that point, I was burning up. And then it just occurred to me, what now? What next? Like, what am I gonna do? And this will come to your mind because you'll notice that some of your classmates already have jobs, and some are already moving on to other degrees. Some are confused, and some are really chill. Some will be migrating. Some will be having a gap year. Everyone is moving on to something else, and maybe you are moving on to something else, but you're not so comfortable in that new direction or the next step. So this episode is for you, to motivate you and give you a boost of confidence in that next step. And I could have compiled quotes from notable figures all over the world, and quotes that you probably heard a billion times, or I mean, it's probably on your graduation cake. Maybe your mom printed one of these philosophical quotes or it's on the cards that you got saying congratulations. But I thought of something else. I said, why not contact people in my circle, social circle, whether face-to-face, whether I met them face-to-face or online, and have them say something that would motivate you. So these are people, real people, not that all the philosophical quotes came from fake people, but more relatable folks that I've graduated with, folks that I've met through social media, who are also going through the struggles of bachelor's or been through the struggles of master's and PhD, and they have some words of wisdom. So I contacted them, they agreed, and so this episode is filled with tips from them, and I'm very happy that they agreed, and very happy that they could share some motivational words to help you, the class of 2020. So one of the first persons I contacted was Shannon, and I met Shannon on social media, and she's also doing a PhD, but she's almost finished, so she's far ahead of me. So what she will say is also motivating to me and to you. Yes. And I hope that what Shannon has to say can help you. Now, listen up.
Hello, my name is Shannon, and I'm a PhD student in medical neuroscience at Dalhousie University, which is in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. And I'll be defending my PhD thesis this summer, which is on the topic of how lack of sleep impacts your brain. So my best piece of advice for graduates would be to take opportunities you're genuinely interested in and to take all of them. Try to embrace an interdisciplinary approach and don't feel pressured to take a narrow path. I believe you can have a career that overlaps with both your passions and your skill set, but you just have to keep following your interests and pursue things that truly motivate you. And also, I would give a heads up that your interests are going to change, and that's okay. As long as you're making decisions for yourself, your experiences and the skills that you learn along the way will help you build an amazing career. I don't believe you were meant to know what exactly you want to do with your life when you graduate, and that you've actually been preparing yourself to start the journey. So good luck.
Thanks, Shannon. And Shannon also mentioned that she took a few zigzags on the way to her PhD. And I'd like to let you know it's completely normal to do that. I did that as well. And it can be demotivating when you start to focus on individuals who just took a straight road in their career. They never altered anything. They never took an odd job. But as Shannon said, I say just take the opportunities as long as you're interested in them. It will help you to grow. You will learn more. And trust me, you have a long life to live. So why not enjoy it in your 20s, 30s, or whatever it is you're in? Just enjoy it and enjoy the moment for what it is. Now, speaking of that, there are two individuals. Well, one who's been on Wise Grad before, Ashari Hyatt-Williams, the career and business guru, and Jamila Hollingsworth, the HR boss. Now, I met both of them during my bachelor's, and I can say they have grown to be experts in their field. So without further ado, here is Ashari Hyatt-Williams, the career and business guru, dropping some advice for the class of 2020.
To all my wonderful graduates of 2020, you did it. This year was one of the hardest years ever for us, but we made it. We got to the top together. As you embark on a new journey, I want to encourage you to network. This will be the difference between success and failure in your professional endeavors. Now, what do I mean by networking? You can use your social platform, or you can use a professional one. For me, my life changed when I entered LinkedIn and started networking with people I didn't know, people I wouldn't even imagine I would ever get to meet. And it was so funny. We created a bond, and then we had a professional relationship, one that ended up propelling me to new heights in my current career. So what am I saying again? Network, network, network. Use your social platform, as I said before. You don't need to know the person one-on-one. Once you send out that connection or that invite and that person accepts your connection, just drop a quick mail in their inbox and make them aware who you are and what your field of study is, and try to make small talks. After a while, especially on LinkedIn, that network becomes a family. So I want to wish you all the best on your endeavors. And if you survive 2020, ain't nothing can stop you from getting to the top. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Oshari. So Oshari's advice is to network, and network well. I say send genuine messages to people who you're interested in. You really want to work with them. Don't send copy and paste messages to everyone. The generic messages, they don't work. I can easily tell when a message, well, not easily, but for the most part, I think I can tell when a message is generic, when it has no substance to it, no emotion. You just send this to everyone who you think is in criminology. So send a message, a personal message, and build your network and build it well. Now the HR boss is ready to drop her gems, so let's listen up.
Congratulations, you've graduated. Wow, you are a rock star for graduating in the biggest pandemic of our time during the biggest equality movement in decades. You're a champion. You are a graduate of the class of 2020. Some of you may see this time as a time of chaos, with the world basically trying to get back to life as we knew it. But today, I'm here to tell you that there are many opportunities on the other side. Mass confusion and uncertainty births opportunity. For students in technology, innovation, and strategy, this is your time to shine. If you are quick to adapt, you're flexible, and you're agile, the world is waiting on what you have to offer. So use this time wisely. Focus on building a killer personal brand. Build a bad resume and start looking for opportunities that will emerge. Or you know what? Create your own. Create your own opportunities. Let's not forget that Uber was created in 2008 during a recession. Congratulations on this milestone, and I'm looking forward to seeing you take the world by storm. I'm Jamila Hollingsworth, and I'm the founder of the HR Boss based in Barbados.
Thank you so much, Jamila. And I love when she said you should build that bad resume. I hope you guys know, as Caribbean people, by bad we mean badass. So build that badass resume and, stand out. Sell yourself. Sell yourself, and not just the title of your degree. I'm sure that many people will have, let's say, a Masters of Science in Criminology. Bam! But what makes you stand out from the crowd? So build that brand, as Jamila said. Build yourself, and so you can market yourself. This is your time to shine. Now, there's one more person who has quite a few words for the class of 2020, some motivational words. And interestingly, he had a few words for the class of 2008, and I think a few words for the class of 2018. He's done quite a number of speeches. So back in high school, he was the head boy of my high school. His name is David Brown. And now David is living in Washington, D.C., and he's a commercial real estate attorney. So let's listen what David has to say. So David, jump in and drop a few words of wisdom for the class of 2020, as you've done many times before.
Thank you, Sanj, and let me just take this opportunity to congratulate the amazing cohort of 2020. I know it's been a challenging past few months given the pandemic, but I am confident that this class will come out even stronger than expected. Just a few tips here on how to be successful post-graduation, and there's no magic here. The first thing is to continue to dream and to back up those dreams by actions. There have been times when, for example, I've wanted to go into a new job, and I would go to bed literally and think about what I'm going to wear, what cologne I'm going to put on, how I'm going to interact, how am I going to walk into that building, or just generally think about working there. Like I make myself an employee at that company in my dreams. But while we continue to dream, it's important to back up those dreams by actions, even gradually. Secondly, treat every interaction as a potential job interview. How do you interact with folks on Facebook? How do you interact with people in the coffee shop or at networking events? Or how do you send emails? All these things are important. You're looking for a job. You never know. You have I don't know, 5,000 friends on Facebook. Somebody will see your interaction there and say, I think I wouldn't mind giving Sanjay an opportunity if he reached out. So just be mindful of that you're constantly on display. Another thing is to set goals every day and remain persistent. So even as an undergrad, when I was in college, and even now as an attorney, every day I try to write down at least 3 tasks that I need to accomplish. And I, at the end of the day, would want to make sure that I've scratched off everything, I've accomplished all the goals that I've set up for that day. And just bear in mind, these don't have to be huge goals. Sometimes it could just mean making a phone call to check in on a family member or something. But write these things down, or if you want to make a mental note, that's fine. But always have some goals to accomplish, even if you're just on vacation or you're relaxing. And finally, I think during this time, especially, we need to take care of our mental health. So you need to set up your base of support, have people that you can reach out to and talk to and be vulnerable with, because we need the support. A lot of us have been quarantined for quite some time. A lot of us are disappointed that we weren't able to have our traditional graduation ceremonies, and we're just dealing with a lot during this period of time. So I encourage you to take care of your mental health, reach out, and those are my tips, Sanjay. I hope folks will find them useful.
And thank you, David. I'm very sure that many people will find great use to those tips. And if you even think of adding what David said to what Jamila said, Jamila added building your brand and your personal brand, and David just dropped in the fact that we should dream, keep on dreaming, and put in action to that dream. Even just dressing up and putting yourself in the position that you want. It's very important to keep dreaming, especially during these times, and grabbing those opportunities when they come, whatever the option is. As long as you can see some benefit to it, I say grab it. Just remember to consider all options before writing it off and saying, oh, this opportunity is not that geared towards my career, or it's not so career friendly. Oh, come on. There's so many things that you've learned during your degree, the courses that you've done, that probably makes you more than qualified for some of these jobs, and people are looking out for you. They're not necessarily looking for the title of the degree. They're looking to see what you can offer. So you have your degree, and I want to urge you to not be demotivated in this time. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, a big, shiny, sparkly light. I mean, we're all trying to see it, and we will all get through this. But class of 2020, you've done an amazing job. And these are some of the things I wish people told me when I just left. So this podcast is definitely something that you can share with your friends and share with your family and share with anyone who is a part of the class of 2020 to get them motivated, get them moving, and know that, there is hope and you can accomplish what you will. Now I sound a bit corny. But that's how it is sometimes, sometimes these talks can get a bit corny, but it is what it is, but I really want you to be motivated, to be more motivated than I was after graduation. So, the whole pomp and circumstance, the confetti, the balloons, they will all fade. And everyone goes home. All the gifts that you got, if you got gifts, you used them already. And the whole pageantry, everything is done. It's faded back to normal. And you're back thinking to yourself, what now? And it will happen. Even if you got an opportunity or a job or you started, you will sit there and think, what now? Was this for me? And if it ends up that you will have to leave that job or that opportunity, I say leave. There's nothing holding you back except yourself. It's just you overthinking that if you leave this, you can't find something else. But if you really find something and it's not for you, leave it. There's no harm in going zigzag, as Shannon mentioned, in your career. You'll learn, you'll grow, and you will become a better person. And don't take rejections too seriously. Don't take them personally. They will come. I've gotten quite a few. I've mentioned some in past episodes, but I've gotten quite a number of rejections. If I went through my old email address, you'll find so many application letters. But even looking back, some of those letters I would not hire me or even call me for an interview. I would be, no, this was not ready. And I could see that I was not ready. I did not get the right advice because my resume was absolute garbage. And in any case, there was no one to tell me. There was no Wise Grad podcast that I could listen to give me some, solid advice and realistic advice, because I can Google all day, all night, but it feels much better to hear it from someone who's in your position. So yeah, my resume was garbage and I didn't know. And now that I look back, I realize it was garbage. So I'm telling you, don't make your resume garbage. So class of 2020, I say take the advice from these awesome people who've offered it for free to you and run with it. Give it to your friends too and let them grow and be happy. Yeah, and take it easy. Don't be too hard on yourself. Wait, quick story. So after graduating, not only was I being hard on myself, but my brother also said, "What now?" And then that was added pressure. And you might feel that from family members. So maybe you need to send this episode to them too. Don't pressure you. And the pressure might lead you to do something that you don't want to do or you're not interested in. Maybe you end up starting a new certificate program to do a different field that you have no interest in. But just because it's booming right now and you can make money. But you can definitely carve out your own route and work towards your career. And do something that you're passionate in. I say behind it all, be passionate. If there's no passion, it's complete garbage and you're wasting your time. Trust me on that. Do something that you love and you will have several interests, as Shannon said. But do something that you love and take the opportunity as it comes. So that's it for this episode of Wise Grad, and I hope that this episode was able to motivate you and make you feel confident in that new spanking degree that you worked so hard for. And I know the hardest part was probably the group assignments with the group members who did not play their part, but you did it. You did it. You got a good grade and you have reached the end of this tunnel. So congratulations again. Don't be too hard on yourself. Capture those opportunities as they come, build a badass resume, and go forth and be great. This is Sanj signing out of Wise Grad. Thank you for clicking play and not clicking next. Until next time, goodbye. Special thanks to everyone who made this episode possible. Andrew, Chad Anthony, Shannon, Oshari, Jamila, and David. Big ups to Portissimo, who remixed Pomp and Circumstance. Wise Grad is a self-help how-to podcast that helps students thrive. Visit wisegrad.org.